The days of wills are over. We are now in the days of trust. You are a businessman or a businesswoman. I believe that you are either in the secret court or you are in the secret place. A lot of people in the billionaires conclave, even though they were doing turnover in billions, some of them hundreds of billions, they have never left Nigeria. When I'm calling the spiritual fathers and talking about business, they are like, let us pray. And many men are so busy that they don't even have time for their wife. For many of them, it is people helping them to service their wife. But you see a business that have survived 10 years, they are like 1% of the businesses that started 10 years ago. So when you come home with a masculine energy, there cannot be too masculine energy in a house. It will not work. You may be a chief judge in the court as a woman and they are calling you my lord, my lord, my lord. Yes, my lord, yes, my lord. Honorable, honorable. Everybody saying yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. When you get home, you drop that and enter the house and become. A lot of people lose their family in pursuit of wealth. And then they now want to use the wealth to buy back their family. And it's too late. A lot of businesses fail within the first 5 years. The next set fail within the next 5 years. So I didn't have that kind of access. I didn't know too many people that were high net worth. I didn't know a lot of billionaires. Many of them are doing business that their wives don't even know what they're doing.
Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Guru, and today is Finance Edition, and I have with me the global president of the Billionaires Conclave, a network of high net worth individual with me today to take us through on the Finance Edition, and is no other than Dr. Olumide-Emmanuel. Hello, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. Always enjoy. It seems as if this Ask the Guru. I am Ask the Guru now.
At this point, you are my co-host.
You have to be paying me.
At this point, you are my co-host. So it's Finance Edition of Ask the Guru, and I know that you have a network, the Billionaires Conclave. So that's what I want you to throw more light on for us. So at the beginning of the year, you concluded disruption for the first one, and this second one you are going for the Business Sustainability Summit. So I just want to understand more about this business sustainability. What makes it different from disruption that you had at the beginning of the year? Okay,
so like you say, the Billionaires Conclave is a network of high net worth individuals, families and organizations under my mentorship. We have members now in 23 countries on 6 continents of the earth. And it was set up because as an individual, while growing up on my journey of wealth creation, I realized that the higher I was going, the fewer the people that could speak into my life. Because you find that almost everybody around you is poor and struggling. And you cannot be talking to people that are struggling about millions or billions. They'll be thinking of, come and help me. So come and help me. So you are like, okay, I need someone to guide me, to help me make better decisions and to be able to maximize and leverage what I have. So I realized that because I'm a pastor, I'm a businessman. In ministry, we have what we call spiritual fathers, fathers in the Lord, prophets of God, spiritual coverings of our lives. And when we have issues, you can always go to your spiritual father, make a call and say, sir. But when I had, business issues and business began to grow, I became global. When I'm calling the spiritual fathers and talking about business, they're like, let us pray. God is in control. I'm like, these guys cannot help me in this area. So, and I knew I needed, and I now realized that I didn't know too many people that were high net worth. I didn't know a lot of billionaires. I couldn't just call Dangote or call Elumelu or call, I didn't have that kind of access. I'm like, okay, wow. So I need to have people that can help me in this area. So it took a while, and I began to do what I can do. And I now realize, okay, if I'm having this problem, there are a lot of other people that are having this. So let me now make myself available to bridge that gap so that young people, young upward mobile individuals and families that are beginning to enter into the multi-million and billion level, that are confused about how to go about life, how to navigate finance, family, their faith, let me help them. And that's what I did. And you'll be amazed to realize that a lot of people in the Billionaires Conclave, even though they were doing turnover in billions, some of them hundreds of billions, they have never left Nigeria until they joined us. They didn't travel. Some of them didn't even know how to, they didn't know they can get visa. Some of them, they have marital problems. They are just busy, business. Their families were in shambles. So in the Billionaires Conclave, we deal with faith, family, and finance. We ensure that, because I believe that you're either in the secret court or you're in the secret place. So if you don't believe in God, we don't need you. Keep your atheism. But if you come into because it's all about becoming kingdom ambassadors and making a difference and an impact in the soul. We deal with their faith, helping them to be people of faith. We deal with family, helping them to have solid family, solid children, transgenerational wealth, and we deal with their finances. And it's been amazing. So every year, all the members all over the world gather for the annual Conclave Summit. So the annual Conclave Summit is what we do in March. That's what we are referring to. So every year, everybody comes. We have the annual Conclave Summit in March, the first weekend in March every year. People come from all over the world. So the theme for 2025 is disruptions. Faith, family, finance, individuals, families and organizations. So we look at how disruption is affecting all those different areas. Now, after COVID, we saw what happened in the world. And a lot of businesses went belly up. And I realized that, these guys are in business. Nobody planned that they were going to be out of business. So how come they were not able to survive COVID? And that's when the inspiration came that, look, we need to now begin to think of how we can help people build for sustainability. So we now started the Business Sustainability Summit in 2021. So September of 2021, we started the Business Sustainability Summit. So this edition will be the fourth edition of the Business Sustainability Summit. So the purpose of the Business Sustainability Summit is for business people, entrepreneurs, to say, look, you are a businessman or a businesswoman. A lot of businesses fail within the first 5 years. The next set fail within the next 5 years. So when you see a business that have survived 10 years, they are like 1% of the businesses that started 10 years ago. So how do you build a sustainable business? How do you build a business that you can hand over to the next generation? How do you scale? How do you build a business that can become global? That's what we deal with. So everything that will help you to do that is what we deal with in the Business Sustainability Summit.
I noticed that this particular year is a bit different. So you're not just doing just for the business leaders, because like you explained, these are mostly business owners, people in that network are people that have gotten to a certain level in their business. But this particular summit, you are offering for people to bring their management staff for this summit. So what makes that difference? Why exactly are we bringing our staff?
As we identify challenges, issues, and gaps, we try to navigate how to fill it up. So we did year one. The CEOs came. Boosh. It was, this is powerful. We did year two. The CEOs came. They're like, sir, the one you taught us last year, when we got back, the staff didn't understand, though. We have been trying to get them to understand. And we cannot afford to pay for all of them to come at this level. Because its price is not for, So by last year, they say, sir, we have been telling you this thing. What are you going to do? You need to come and help us train our staff so that what you are telling us, they will be hearing their own version and know how to put it together. So I said, okay, no problem. So we now change. So it's a 1 day fully residential event. So from this year now, going forward, it is now 2 days fully residential. Okay. So what we have done, we have brought in 2 uniqueness into the event now. So it's now 2 days fully residential, and you can now bring your staff. So we are now doing, the CEO will pay CEO level, fully residential. The staff don't have to be fully residential. Okay. So they can now bring their staff for a daily summit. So the staff can now come, we train them, we give them their own session, they go back home. Then, because of family, we are now bringing in sense and sensibility for women. So we're going to give 3 hours, in fact, I think 4 hours, exclusively to women alone. I will share with them. My wife will share with them. We are bringing Dr. Adebayo, a medical doctor, to come and share with them on medical issue, menopause, all the women matter. Then we are bringing Yemi Olumide-Emmanuel. She's an etiquette, family coach, and to talk about family matter. And then they're going to go to the spa. There's going to be manicure, pedicure, spa, massage, everything. So that one is special. So when on Saturday night, we are giving them 4 hours for them to go and do that, which is women alone. So that 4 hours, we will now have man-to-man coaching.
So is it that the men do not deserve spa and 4 hours of relaxing, of pedicure, of manicure? Because I want to understand, why is it only the women that are going to spa?
No comments.
So, but that's a nice one. But I want to understand, what role do family actually play in sustainability? Because if you are saying you are bringing wives or women so that they can have this session, that means there must be a key role that these people are playing in.
You see, a lot of people lose their family in pursuit of wealth.
Okay.
And then they now want to use the wealth to buy back their family, and it's too late. Some lose their health in pursuit of wealth. They now want to use the money to buy back their health, it's too late. When you see a lot of high net worth individuals, they have bad marriages, whether male or female. Look around, a lot of women that are high flyers. I'm a career woman. Many of them don't have homes. They're either single parents. Only few of them are exemplary that have been able to keep their wife, because many times they don't understand how to balance. I'm a CEO in the office, I'm a wife at home. So you may be a chief judge in the court as a woman, and they are calling you my lord, my lord, my lord. Yes, my lord, yes, my lord. Honorable, honorable. Everybody saying yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. When you get home, you drop that and enter the house and become. So when you come home with a masculine energy, there cannot be too masculine energy in a house. It will not work. So the same thing for men. Many men are so busy that they don't even have time for their wife. For many of them, it is people helping them to service their wife. Because they are not there. And they leave this woman, they are lonely in air condition, lonely in business class, lonely in private jets, lonely, everything is there. You buy car for them, they are lonely. And they are not, because the men don't realize, but I give you everything. Are you what? Are you hungry? If you go to Paris, take Becky's back. As if that is it. So we help them to understand that this thing matters. And then many of them are doing business that their wife don't even know what they're doing. So if the man drops dead today, I was in Canada, just came back from Canada, just last week. The meeting we did in Canada, the Career Wealth Summit, one of my mentees that came was telling me that the younger sister has lost the husband. And that no will, no nothing. The woman doesn't even know what the man is doing. This is a billionaire. Now the woman is stranded, doesn't even know account detail, no PIN number, doesn't even know what the man has or what the man doesn't have. So you need to get your family together. So if you're a man, you're a woman, your spouse must be involved. Two of you must work together. United plan, united vision, united decisions. It helps. Even if they are not working, let them understand the business. Let them understand what you are doing so that you can be able to grow. Or else you will build something that somebody else will come and hijack.
Okay, so that session, is it that the women are coming for just that session, or they'll be there throughout the?
No, they'll be there fully.
Fully, okay.
So what we are doing is we are trying to, you see, in business, you also have to understand that not everything is for everybody. So some people may feel I can't afford to be in the entire. So the full package is 2 days fully residential, everything inclusive. Food, hotel, everything. So we now decide to come up with 3 other levels. So if you are bringing your staff don't have to be fully residential. So we are giving people opportunity to bring their staff at a minimal fee. The staff will come in, do the session, go home. So that is a separate session. Then if you are bringing your spouse to say, okay, you know what, my wife is taking care of children, she's doing school run, but she can come on Saturday evening just for the sense and sensibility. We are now giving a special package for that also, so that people can also do that. And then if you want everything, we have a package for that.
Okay. So still on sustainability, transgenerational wealth, how, because I keep hearing you say transgenerational wealth you want to transfer to the next generation. If all these people are being educated, what's the plan for the generation that is actually going to take over from this? So how are we making sure that the people that are handing over all these things you are building actually handle it well?
Yeah, you see, one of the things we are doing is bringing balance to this equation. The days of wills are over. We are now in the days of trust. And what do I mean by that? Well, I don't need to give them all the information for free. So one of the things we need to understand that many of the children we are raising today, they have their dreams, they have their visions, they have their passion, they have their goals, they have their destiny to pursue. So you may be saying, oh, I'm starting a business so that I can hand over to my next generation. They send you a message. Yeah. It's you that wants to do that. They may not be interested. So what we are now teaching people is that there's a difference between ownership and management. So your family can still own the business, but your family does not have to manage the business. So we teach people how to retain ownership, but let go of management, so that others can manage the business while your family retains the owner. So your children may decide to say, I want to be a DJ. Your children may decide to say, I want to be a footballer. Might decide to say, I want to be a fashion designer. No problem. But you know that in my father's business, I have 15%, and every year I'm collecting my money and I'm enjoying it, and the things remain within the family. So when it comes to building transgenerational organization or transgenerational wealth, we talk about 3 generations. The first generation is always a pioneering generation. They are the ones that go through the grind, they start the business, they build it, and then they give birth to children who see father and mother struggling, and then they are able to help them, and then they come up and they're like, okay, because those first generation are like, I don't want my children to suffer what I suffer. So most likely the second generation goes to private school, second generation have good education, then they suffer a little, but later on they begin to enjoy. And even though they may not have foreign passport, but at a point they begin to go for summer. So by the time that second generation takes over, they now like, what daddy and mommy has built, we don't want it to be destroyed. So most of the time they come in with maintenance mindset. Let's maintain what daddy and mommy has done. But maintenance mentality does not build a thriving business. It maintains what has been built. So, but that second generation, by the time they start giving birth to their own children, they give birth to them in America, London, Canada, they have a second passport. Many of them don't even know what a bus stop is, they don't know what Molue is, they don't know what BRT is, they don't know what Korope is, they don't know what Marwa is, they don't enter public transport, they don't know how to cook, they live in a mansion, driver takes them to school, they don't know the bus stop to their house, they can't enter blue lane, red line, they don't know jack. They are foreigner, they live on the tablet. So at the end of the day, these children are now what we call the entitled generation. Because by the time they come, they don't know what suffering is all about. And at the end of the day, the first generation that suffered, that third generation does not know. They will even call it physical abuse. One of my friends told me about the fact that they went to the village and was telling the child, that when I was young, when I was going to primary, that's my school. I used to trek from the house to this. Oh my God, grandpa did that to you? That's an abuse. Can you imagine? So he was telling the father that the grandfather was abusing him because he trekked go school.
I mean, that's what is on.
So you give, in these days now, my son might come and say, no, I'm not eating that one. This is what I want to eat.
Select food.
In my own days, whatever they give you, you don't eat.
You don't sleep.
So by that third generation, they become an entitled generation. And if care is not taken, that's why the world does not transit. By that time, they now go back into poverty and start the grind all over again. So every generation must be a pioneering generation. The first generation will pioneer. And then the second generation will take over what has been maintained and pioneer it again with the reality of their own world and on like that. So it's always an amazing session. We are grateful for the privilege we have to serve people in our generation. But nobody has ever attended any of our events before that did not see it as something that was even beyond what they expected.
Okay. So based on these theories that you just analyzed, how do we bridge this gap? Because it's obvious that this thing is actually happening already. We are already seeing the third generation. I mean, I heard there's a new generation that is coming out, that has come out already. So how do we...
It's Gen Alpha now.
Gen Alpha. Yeah. So we, the Gen Zs, we are getting old.
You're expired.
We, the Gen Zs, we are getting old. So how do we bridge this gap so that these people, I mean, nobody wants their children to have a hard life. Nobody wants to have stress. As a pioneer, you have gone through all this stress. You don't want to see your children also struggle the struggles that you've struggled. So how do we bridge this gap between these 3 generations?
It's knowledge, mentorship, and structure. There is a knowledge gap. So you have to bridge that knowledge gap by ensuring that you help your children, your grandchildren, and everyone within your sphere of influence to have the right knowledge that they need to have. So when they come up with different viruses, they just sit down. They may be doing that in this family. We don't do that. So it's knowledge. Number 2 is mentorship. A lot of people need to understand the power of mentorship. So you need to ensure that apart from you connect your children, grandchildren, and those under you to the right kind of atmosphere and people that can help to mentor them, because you may not be able to give them all the mentorship that they need. And then the third one is system and structures. You see, when you study the Jews, you study Asians, you study the Italians, you realize that in their families, businesses are there 200 years, 300, 400 years. Yes. And you are like, my grandfather was selling carpet. And so how are they able to do? They have system and structures that they have put in place. So they have the knowledge, they transfer the knowledge, they mentor. So for you to join the family business, it's not just because you went to school.
Yeah.
So after you have gone to the best school, so they prioritize knowledge. So they send them to the best schools in the world. But they are telling us, you are going to that school, you are returning home. So when you now return, you will now go and start from gateman. So not that because your father is the owner, no. You do gateman for maybe like 6 months or 1 year. The next year you go to delivery room. Third year you do driver. So you might be there for 5 years.
Just training.
You have gone abroad. You have learned all the, now those things you learn, go and start checking. What are the problems we can do this thing better. So when you become the CEO, you are not a CEO that does not understand. So when they are saying, no, it's both for, use ML2, you are talking, no, don't go through that route, no, that must, you heard this, no, that must be the crankshaft, that must be the plug. So you are able to answer, not that they will come and tell you one English, and then you'll be here. So that is what you need to do. So knowledge, mentorship, and structure.
That's another revelation. So knowledge, so I don't know, are there some of these things that you actually apply personally, maybe a few or maybe one or two that you apply also in the that helps to create that structure around
okay, now so every family must have what we call a family value, family vision, family template. So in our family now, if you get to our house right now, when you get to the house, you will see there, it's on a marble plaque before you enter the house. Welcome to the residence. Then you see the Olumide-Emmanuel family vision. It's right there clearly.
Vision.
It's there. It's on the wall. It's been there for, I moved in 2008. Wow. It's been there since. So anybody that comes, so you know. So once you enter that house, you are not in Nigeria. You are not in Lagos. You are in the Olumide-Emmanuel family kingdom. This is the Olumide-Emmanuel dynasty. So in this dynasty, which we have our own constitution, we have our laws, we have our bylaws. So once you enter here, in this family, as long as you're a member of this family. So we have, if you call my son or call them and say, ask them now, what is love? They will tell you what is. They will tell you love is caring, sharing, and giving. So nobody can ask, hey, why are we giving this money? Well, you know that is so. We have the core values of who we are. Then we also know that, look, in this family, we value education. We value God, we value education, and we value impact. So they will know. So you can say you want to do anything, you will go to school first. When you now have your master's, that's the minimum requirement for the Olumide. PhD is optional. Master's is not, when you finish master's, any other thing you want to do with your life. If it's football you want to play, because you are not in a poor family. Yeah. Even if you don't do anything, you are sorted out. Money day. So it's not money you are looking for. But you cannot have money without vision. It's a useless life. So you must discover your destiny. So that is what it's what we have practiced. And then for people that are coming for this particular year's Sustainability Summit, the reason why we're saying bring your staff is because we want to now deal with issues that will affect them. So number one, we're looking at the customer service masterclass. You see, one of the major challenges we have in this continent is customer service. Staff matter is a problem. So then we're looking at teamwork masterclass, how people can work together as a team. Then we're looking at emotional intelligence masterclass. Then we're looking at building proper systems and structures for growth. Then we're looking at how to scale up as a businessman, the responsibility of the organ and the responsibility of the customers. And then we are now bringing in someone that has done well globally, that is someone that is, one of the richest women in the world. Yeah. Folorunsho Alakija will be there. So we now want her to come and talk. So she's going to be speaking about navigating times and seasons in the marketplace. How do you stay in integrity in a place like Nigeria and in a world where different, so how do you know in the midst of all the turmoil, all the stress, how do you navigate times and seasons with integrity, and you're able to that's so everybody will be coming. Then we are bringing in different, so Folorunsho Alakija will be doing that. So we are bringing in Abisola Champ, is going to be taking the emotional intelligence masterclass, because that's something that is missing. Both, as you say, a lot of staff, they are just fighting office politics and all those. So even some people that are CEOs, they don't have emotional intelligence. They don't know how to manage people. They have all this Gen Z, all this Gen Z. But Gen Z are not a problem. All the Gen Z around me, they are doing well. Me, I have plenty Gen Z and they are doing well. So I don't know why they say they're having problem with Gen Z. So maybe it's them that don't have emotional intelligence. So we're going to deal with that. You know, Eizu is going to be talking about building system and structures for growth. What are the system and structures that you need to have in your organization that can help you to grow? Ezekiel Solesi will be talking about scaling up for success. How do you scale all the different things you're going to do to begin to make good money? Then we have Bose Olosuja-Obasa, who's going to be talking about teamwork. You know, he's going to be talking about how to build a team, how to work together as a team. I'm going to be handling customer service masterclass. I'm going to be handling excellence masterclass, because you need to do things with excellence. It's just going to be out of this world. Then for the women only angle, I'm going to be talking about, you know, something very special. I don't want to, that one, let's keep it. Yes, so because I'm going to talk there. So we want to talk to them about all the different rooms and Zaoza room. So we're going to be talking to women. Then my wife will be there to talk and, you know, deal with some very amazing things. We have Dr. Adebayo, and then we have Yemi Somi Olamide. So it's going to be an amazing time. It's loaded. It's not something that anybody should miss.
Is that okay? So if you have listened to Dr. Olumide-Emmanuel over and over again, even right here in Ask the Guru, he talks so much about mentorship. There's just so much gap that can be filled with mentorship. And it's better to live through the experiences of others than making the mistakes yourself. So if you're out there and you really have not, you don't have a mentor, or you really have not plugged yourself in under the mentorship of someone, I think the Billionaires Conclave is the one place where you should be to start, especially because of that network of people you are going to be. I mean, you said 6 continents.
Yes, yes.
6 continents, and you know you're meeting
23 countries now.
23 countries. So you should actually reach out. I think the numbers will be on the screen, or there'll be a link in the caption for you to reach out to become a member. But this sustainability summit is not restricted to just
no, it's for everybody.
So it's open for everybody.
Our members, that's why if you're a member, it's free for all our members. It's part of the membership package.
Hey, good.
So once you're a member of the Billionaires Conclave, this is part of your benefits. You come for 2 days fully residential in March. You come for 2 days fully residential in September. So you know that twice a year I have a place that I can be. So it's not just mentorship of, it's not CBEX mentorship. It's a pure mentorship that will give you, you know, what you pay, you know, of course. Those that have joined, they know what they have gotten. So.
Okay, so before we wrap up, like we always do, is there anything that you want to you know, give to us? Any offer you have available right now that people need to know about?
You know, maybe what I can do is to give. Let me do birthday promo. let me do birthday promo for maybe 10 people, because a lot of people have been calling and calling. So let me extend all the offer of the birthday promo for just 10 people. That's all I can do. Yeah, just 10 people. Yeah, so for just 10 people. So I don't know when this will air, but let's just do it for 10 people. Yeah. Okay. And then, of course, the Sustainability Summit. But 10 is just in my head. So let me do 10%. Let me do 10% discount.
Wow. So for everybody coming from Ask the Guru, we have...
Yes. So any level of the Sustainability Summit that you see from now. So let me look for... Okay, let me just say 10, 10, 10 is the number. That's the code. 10, 10, 10 is the number. So when you come and say that I'm calling for the 10, 10, 10 is the number, that's the code.
We know that
10% discount for Sustainability Summit, any level.
Any level you put. Yeah. Hey, see, we love having this man in there in our session, because it's always goody, and there's always promo. So thank you very much, sir. I would always love for this session to go on and on and on, but because of the constraint of our time, we'd have to come to the end of this episode. My name is Precious Ochaya, and you can do well to follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, on TikTok at MyCSTV Global and Dr. Olumide-Emmanuel. Also click the subscribe button, because we have so much. Imagine this. coming to you. So much offers, so much goodies for you. And thank you very much.